521-8255 is the number to call. Let's go to Kevin in North Gore. How you doing, Kevin?
Hey, John, I'm well. How about yourself?
Wonderful. So what do you think?
I love Facebook. I think it is absolutely wonderful.
So what would lead you to defriend somebody or unfriend them, whatever the term is?
The only way I will unfriend or block somebody, and I'm very active on Facebook and on the social media, and I am one to accept friend requests from strangers. I have followers on the social media account.
Okay.
But the only justification, what my line would be to unfriend, to block, or delete somebody is if they threaten violence. One of the things I like to engage in are debates on controversial subjects.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody is entitled to an opinion. Every voice is uniquely important and does need to be heard. But when they cross a certain line, when threats of violence are made, then that is an automatic, you're gone,
well,
you're done.
I would think you got to do more than block them. You got to alert authorities when there's threats of violence.
It's happened in the past where, yes, I've had to approach authorities, but that's my fundamental cutoff.
Yeah,
I mean,
to me, with threats of violence, that's beyond blocking. You got to alert the authorities when something like that happens. I mean, so obscenity, you don't do it for obscenity. You don't get for people getting, really downright dirty and personal with you.
Well, if somebody does get downright and dirty and personal with me, most people that follow my Facebook account or follow my blog, most people will see that for what it is, and the individual who made the offending comments or personal attacks against me or indeed other contributors,
they get piled on.
People see it for what it is. So it's
yeah,
I don't need to do the hard part. I don't need to unfriend them. They've just been shamed publicly on social media.
I've had that happen too.
Yeah. Now, on the level of trolling the trolling your exes you were talking about. Yeah, the creeping. That's just weird, man. Like I'm not going to lie to you. Okay, I got an ex of mine there. She's friends of mine on social media. That's because we're still actually friends. I don't troll her page every day. And those people that do, I mean, that's just a little weird, right? I mean,
well, I don't have an ex, Kevin. But I mean, I've been happily married for 33 and a half years. Okay, and exes were girls I went out with before I went out with my wife, okay? Now, most of them are friends of mine, okay? Yeah. And a lot of them are friends of mine on Facebook, and they're friends with my wife as well. So I'm just not in that category. But honestly, Kevin, I could understand somebody going through a bad divorce or a bad breakup that got wounded. I can understand that behavior. To me, it's not really creeping. It's a wounded heart, and it'd be hard for me to, depending on the circumstance, it'd be hard for me to be hard on somebody that, is kind of checking out their ex and see what they're up to.
Okay, well, that's fair. That's a fair
I don't
point.
know. It's just my opinion. I'm throwing it out there to find out if people think that is fair and to find out what they think.
I don't know. Creeping, trolling is another key word there that's often used.
Okay, now I hear that term, and I don't know enough about it. You're the big Facebook expert here, Twitter expert here, Kevin. Give me your definition of trolling. What is trolling?
When you frequent certain sites or you frequently troll or creep your ex, and you stick in your little comments here and there.
So it's like baiting people.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, because that's what my understanding of trolling was. You're trying to get a response. You're trying to maybe even tick somebody off or get something going.
Yeah, or say something incredibly outrageous that just calls unnecessary attention. It's like you're trying to ride the publicity of another existing post with your own individual comment, trying to turn the spotlight onto you.
Yeah, just because a guy's on radio doesn't mean he knows what he's talking about, with Twitter and Facebook. So that's why I'm throwing these things out here and getting a bit of an education here tonight, Kevin.
Oh, hey, it's a good day when you learn something new.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm on Twitter way more than I'm on Facebook. I love Twitter. I just love Twitter. How many people do you follow on Twitter, Kevin?
I follow quite a few people on Twitter, and I am active on Twitter as well. But I got to be honest with you, Twitter to me doesn't do it in the way that Facebook does.
See, Facebook doesn't do it in the way Twitter does it for me. Like, I only follow 80 people. I have friends. I got a guy, Andy Bannister, who has been a guest on this show. He's I follow him on Twitter. He's a very, very smart guy. This guy follows 50,000 people.
Oh, how did he keep up with all of that?
Well, exactly. When I had him on the air with me, he sat in and did Ask the Pastor with me one night. And I asked him on air, how in the world do you follow 50,000 people? And he's like, well, I don't know. I mean, like, I mean, I can barely keep up with 80. Never mind. I mean, come on. I'm only going to follow somebody that is like really doing something interesting or saying something interesting. And I've had people meet me in social games. Hey, how come you're not following me on Twitter? As if, I owe them something. Well, you're not saying anything I want to know. I mean, you're probably a nice person, but, I follow people that I really feel intellectually, challenged or entertained. And I don't understand how people can follow that many people. I know that if you follow everybody, that's going to get you more followers, okay? Well, I don't care how many people follow me because I'm much more interested in certain people. I want to know what they're saying, and I've got some real favorites that I follow.
Yeah, and that's a great way to look at Twitter, and I take pretty much the same approach with you on that front.
Yeah.
And just real quickly, finally, there about bringing yourself to unfriend deceased.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
I don't have the heart to do it.
I can't.
There's still a couple of people on my friends list. The most recent example was an aunt of mine a couple of years ago that passed, and I just can't bring myself to, it's like we were friends, we are friends, we were family in that case, and I'm not going to unfriend you and show the world that, okay, I'm only unfriending you, because you're dead. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I can't. No, I understand.
I can't bring myself to do that.
I totally understand. I cannot defriend, friends of mine that have passed on. I just can't do it. Yeah. It's like, because my relationship is still real. When you lose a loved one, Kevin, you become an emotional and psychological amputee. Because the more time you've invested in that relationship, it's irreplaceable, It's just like, amputees have phantom pain, where they can feel like if your hand was cut off, they have pain in their fingers, that they don't even have, And people that have lost a loved one, you still have that pain of that person that's not there anymore.
I understand that.
That's something that makes us human, anyway.
Yeah, I understand, and I agree with that, man. Have yourself a good night.
Yeah, it's a great night, and you raised the bar. Good call there, Kevin. Good having you on. We got to go to the news. If you're on hold, you're getting on the air, okay? 521-8255 is the number to call. That's 521-8255, star 580 on Bell Mobility. 1-800-580-2372 is the long-distance line. Right back after the news. Stay with us.